Hello fans and members of the Delta Battle League, my name is Aeriodon, your commissioner, and today we're just going to go over a quick run through of what's going to be happening for the next couple of weeks for the Delta Battle League. So we're going to start with the 12th, Saturday 12th at roughly 6 p.m. That is the time of the Applicant Tournament, which is when we will have, if the name doesn't say it well enough, a tournament of the applicants to determine who will fill the last two spots. The top two spots in the tournament, or basically the teams playing in the championship, will be guaranteed spots in Season 2 of the DBL. And even for those that don't make it in, they will also have exposure to possibly be given jobs as assistant coaches by several teams, or even analysts. I would like to find two people, preferably, to do some sort of power rankings each week. So definitely would be searching for people to do that there as well. But like I said, September 12th, a Saturday, next Saturday at roughly 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have 9 people right now as I'm recording this on the 8th. But that's not to guarantee someone else won't drop out, which wouldn't be the biggest problem. 8's not a bad number, but 9 is not a problem to work with either. So moving on to the next Saturday, the 19th. So Saturday 19th. That's the day we're going to be releasing the finalized tiers that we're going to be drafting with. If you did not know, we're going to be splitting OU and BL into OUA and OUB. I guess you've kind of already done that, but we could still make some final changes. But the 19th, at some point during the day, probably in the afternoon when I'm awake and everything, I guess would be the best time to release it. But around that time is when we will be releasing those, and you can finally start to figure out some of your final draft plans. But that's the 19th. September 19th. Like I said, not really specific time. I can't really guarantee that. I guess I'll say about 3 o'clock Eastern Time for a rough estimate. I can probably do it earlier though, if I am capable of being conscious that early. I should be good though. So, like I said, the 19th is when the finalized tiers will be released. And moving on after that, after the tiers release is basically when we can begin the Metronome Tournament to determine the draft order. We'll give it an entire week basically to get it done, but it should really only take a couple days. I guess we can technically start it that Saturday night if we really need to, but if people work and people have school during the week, just getting it done whenever we can. We don't want to have it set to one night and have someone not show up, and that would just kind of mess things up. So you know what I mean there. So we're going to have basically the 19th until we really need to here. Shouldn't take anything more than a week to get that done. Hopefully we can get it done by around Wednesday so that we have more time to prepare for the draft. But we will have an entire video describing the rules and guidelines for the draft after the Metronome Tourney is... I guess it'll be before the Metronome Tourney, but around that time so that I can figure out everything around that time. I just said that twice, but never mind. And then the only big thing after that, so we have the Metronome Tourney after the 19th, I guess starting on the 19th technically, with our 12 members at that point. On October 3rd, which is also Saturday, we're doing everything on Saturday basically starting. That is when the draft will actually begin. So that's why we want to get the Metronome Tourney done as soon as possible. If we can get it done by the 23rd maybe, Wednesday, even the 22nd, we can probably even get it done by the 20th, because we have the whole weekend to do that. But people can be busy, which is not a problem at all. We can work around that. But if we get that done early enough, then that gives us all of our members basically 2 entire weeks to know their draft spot and be able to prepare for what they want to do there. We're not going to have a huge gap like we did last season where we had that. It was just way too. It was like a 4-month gap in between the draft and the actual league beginning, but I guess that's a different thing, different context we're talking about a little bit here. But no, it's going to be only a couple weeks between the Metronome Tourney where we actually figure out positions and the draft. So the draft will begin on October 3rd, probably more in the afternoon or the morning, depending on who our first pick is and when they work and everything, or go to school. If they go to school, then we're good because it's Saturday, unless they have weekend classes, but who knows. But we can get that done, and hopefully at least get the first round done on that Saturday. But there's really not a limit there. We'll probably be starting the season on... I guess we should not skip stuff here. So after we get the draft done, we will have 2 weeks for the preseason. So we're basically trying to, I'm assuming we can get it done within this week here, so the 3rd to the 10th roughly. Hopefully we can get it done. I mean, I have school during the day, which kind of hinders things, but we'll see what exactly we can do there. Maybe we can get someone else to contribute to that maybe works in the morning and can handle things in the afternoon at least, so we have a little bit more time. But it will be a struggle a little bit if we can't get it all done on Saturday night. I mean, that's what we did last year. We had it just kind of spread out throughout the week. But it is just a slight advantage if you have more time to think about your stuff. But to be fair, I mean, you can take your time and think about it anyway if you really needed to, so it's not that big of a deal. But that's basically that. So, whenever the draft is done, the preseason will technically be if I can talk. Whenever the draft is done, we will begin the preseason. I originally was going to think 2 weeks for preseason and call it good, but I guess since the end of the draft is kind of a to-be-determined thing, we'll need a week here. We'll probably be starting week 1 of the regular season on Sunday the 25th of October. Now, I know that seems like a little bit. I know we've been talking about having everything in early October, but preseason is basically the same feel as the regular season. As you see when we get there, preseason is going to be a lot of fun too. We can get a lot of battles in there, and it's all going to be on Showdown in the preseason, so we can get a lot more battles in. We're going to have a minimum of 2 battles for everyone during the preseason. Hopefully everyone can get on Showdown and get that done. I know we have a few people who don't really use Showdown a whole lot, but I've talked to them and they said they'd be able to use it for the minimum of 2 battles, which if they can just get that done, that's all we're worrying about for now. But that's basically that, so we'll go through things one more time. So today's the 8th when I'm recording this. You guys are probably seeing this on the 9th or 10th. Saturday the 12th at 6 p.m., we will have the Applicant Tournament on Showdown. We'll have some people commentating there from the league. I believe we'll have J-Dubs Gaming, we'll have FancyPlays if he's not working. We should have Diggletdreams as well. And I'll be there trying to moderate everything. And if you're watching this and you're a returning member and you want to come out and possibly even commentate, throw something down in the comments or message me on, or message the DBL account on Twitter or some kind of form to contact me, and we'll get you hooked up there. Probably starting with groups of 2 for the first few games. We're gonna have a round. I think it's double elimination too, so that adds more games, which could make it longer as well. But we'll either have 3 people commentating at a time for the first rounds, and then I'll just kind of run around and make sure everything is running smoothly. Or we'll have 2 groups of 2, and I'll hang out with one of the guys, and then we'll have the other 2 people commentate together, just so it's a little more entertaining. We do plan on uploading all of the battles to the DBL channel, so it'll be a busy week after that for a lot of Applicant battles. September 19th, we'll be releasing the finalized draft tiers. All the other tiers are the same, except for OU and BL are kind of being combined into OUA and OUB, just for a little bit more of a draft league format based tier listing. It's a little more fair. The 19th as well, once we have the tiers out, the monotype tournament will be, or not the monotype, the Metronome Tournament will begin to determine draft order for the league. We'll get to that more once it comes around. We'll have a video out for that. That will run however long it really needs to. On October 3rd, a Saturday as well, that's when the draft will begin. We'll have actually 8 days altogether to get that done. And whenever the draft is done, I have something in my throat, so I probably sound really weird. I'm like, my eyes are watering and I can't focus. Whenever the draft is done, the preseason will begin, and the preseason will run until the October 24th, excuse me. And the regular season will begin on Sunday, October 25th. There we go, I made it. But, so that's basically it for this. I hope you guys did enjoy, and you will be checking back soon for all this action coming up in DBL. So be sure to check back soon to the DBL channel, and we'll catch you later, guys, and see ya.